leader for Deloitte's automotive practice. Please join me in welcoming our fourth speaker this evening, Cindy Niekamp. Cindy is the Senior Vice President for Automotive Coatings at PPG Industries.
Well, I need to tell everybody in the audience, I just had a first lifetime experience. I don't know if all you know, they held us honorees in this holding room all together. There were 86 of us in this really small space. It was a first, and it was really cool to have all these women. And Peter and Jason also, I think, had a first time experience because they were the only two men in the room. And Peter accused us of being cats, but I'll let him explain that a little bit later, herding cats. But thank you, Automotive News, and thank you, Deloitte, for sponsoring this event. We really do have a lot to celebrate this evening, and I am so honored to be part of all of these just fantastic, accomplished women that I saw in that little tiny room back there. And as I was thinking about my remarks this evening, I thought that this was a particularly good time for us to pause and to reflect on the diversity in our industry and what the role of that diversity is going to play going forward for us. I think we have a conundrum. We are today a time in the industry where we need more than ever the best and the brightest talent that we can find. And yet I fear that we are at a time when it's going to be increasingly difficult to attract and retain that talent, and particularly women, and particularly diverse people. We have gone through a significant change and transformation over the last 3 years or so. I like to say that we have been through the meat grinder. We've been faced with unprecedented challenges. We have led and experienced unprecedented changes. We have been forced to question everything that we do, and almost every one of us personally have been through some form of meat grinder. With this change, we've seen a lot of newcomers. We have new leaders in the industry, we have new owners in this industry, we have new colleagues, and we have new employees. And with them and with the changes that we have made, we have brought in a lot of new ideas and new approaches. We are changing the fabric of this industry. So we're through the worst, but as we all know, we have significant challenges, and they're far from over, and we still have to do many things differently and implement many changes. And I believe, as I know many of you in this room believe tonight, that diversity is one piece of the solution as we go forward. You know, I know many of us who have been in the industry have participated in diversity efforts, and sometimes it was because the politics said, yes, you do, you salute, and that's what you do. Some of us have said, yes, this is socially the responsible thing to do. But I submit to you today that this is an increasing business necessity in our industry. We need to access all of the talent that is out there, all of the best and brightest, not just some portion of it. I don't know, what is dear to my heart is engineering and math and the STEM, basic STEM. But do you realize that only 2/3 of the graduates today of engineering are white males? The rest are diverse candidates. We need to access the best and brightest from the entire pool, not just a piece of the pool. The war for talent is still alive. Also, we need new ideas. We need fresh approaches. We need stimulating thought from outside. We need other ways of thinking. And as many have talked this evening, many of our consumers are women. Most of our consumers are women, and we need people who understand that. I fear that we, though, have a major disconnect. At a time when we need the best and brightest, that we're going to have a more difficult time attracting that talent and retaining that talent, especially women and minorities. First, okay, you and I all know, we're in the industry. We know that we are going to make a successful industry. We know that our companies, that we're doing the things to make our companies successful, and that we will be good employers in the future. You and I know that, but those high school students out there don't know that. Those college students don't know that. The best and brightest of other industries that we want to bring, they don't know that. And the fact is that the image of this industry has been damaged. I don't know, I travel a lot, I know many of you do. I go to the East Coast, I go to the West Coast, I go abroad, I meet with family and old friends. And some of the adjectives I hear are not very comfortable adjectives about this industry. And as I look back as why I'm in this industry, in addition to my love for math and science, I grew up in a GM town in Dayton, Ohio. And GM was the premium place to work for a young girl in Dayton, Ohio who was interested in math and science. And
just to prove they're warriors, we thought we'd have that. But we start over again. I'm Giffi, U.S. Automotive Practice Leader for Deloitte, and let me again introduce Cindy Niekamp.
there's all sorts of theories that we thought about. One was that one of our kids pulled the fire alarm. Which one was you? One of them was that one of the 200 that didn't make it pulled the alarm. I won't repeat that one. But listen, I will try to summarize real quickly what I wanted to say. This industry, and all of us know this industry has faced huge challenges. And this is a time when we need the best and brightest and a diverse workforce and the full access to the best and brightest of the diverse workforce. But we do have a disconnect right now because the image of this industry has been affected. And I'm sure all of you hear that. And the towns that we all grew up in, and when we were proud to be hired into this industry, it was a proud moment. I remember when my dad, you got into GM? That was a huge accomplishment. And a lot of those towns don't exist anymore. We're not employing people. And then you add to the fact that we haven't been hiring. We've been too busy laying people off. And so we've lost our feeder programs with many of the universities. And I think all of you are familiar with this challenge and struggle to get students, good students, into math and engineering, and particularly women. And there are fewer graduates of engineering programs with engineering degrees than when I went to school. And only 20% of those graduates today are women. And that is lower than it was 10, 15 years ago. I think many people are surprised to hear that. And the other fact of the matter is the best women students, the best women professionals, they have options. And this happens in my organization yesterday. I had a senior chemist, a great woman. She was happy with PPG, but she was afraid that her project wouldn't get supported going forward. She went to our competition. She had options. And I think we have to face that reality. Smart girls have choices. Smart women have choices, and they can go elsewhere. And for me, we also have the stereotype, and having two daughters, 16 and 19, trying to talk to them about the auto industry or math and science, I get looks like I had just fed them cream spinach or something. So we have some real challenges in the industry. But as many of the women have said tonight, we have tremendous opportunities, and I'm totally convinced of that. It's an exciting industry, full of opportunities, full of challenge, but full of opportunities for the best and brightest. But things have changed, and we have to face that reality. We don't have the image that we had in the past. And the people that we want to attract to this industry, they do have options. So we're going to have to put forward our best efforts to deal with this new reality. And I think this is going to be a collective challenge. I think all of us in our own companies have been working on our diversity efforts individually, but now I think this has become a broader collective industry challenge for us all together. But just as we did in our recent transformation, we were successful in the recent transformation. We need to look at ideas both inside and outside of the industry for these opportunities. We've been successful, and I'm confident that we'll find a solution to this going forward, and I believe the answer is here collectively in this room tonight. Thank you very much.